What is this trash can doing on here? Is this like supposed to be a joke? Trash can slam?
Guess we're going to go through it and start us off the podcast like that.
This is probably what he's going to talk about.
Let's see what we got in here. Okay, first of all, we got that.
I'll take Papa's Pilar.
That looks fun. All right, I'm going to do fake hand.
Fake hand. Is that to massage me? What else
She's a
is
massage
in here?
therapist.
Oh my gosh. This is probably Dennis's like voodoo doll or something.
Smoked oysters.
Ooh, those
I
sound
suggest you
good.
buy yourself a pack.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
Fishing reel?
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
This is perfect for your segment, Mikaela.
Here we go. Eat, drink, and be local, baby.
Oh, what else you got?
Okay, wait.
Oh, wait. Something shiny. Oh, okay, a little lure.
Oh, I know what. I know what these are. These are
Dennis's shoes.
Yeah, probably.
You want a cookie?
No. Okay, but they look so fun though.
Don't they?
Those are so cool.
So George Pavaromo came in and with Debbie Hansen last week. And Debbie is an angler on the West Coast.
Oh, nice.
Right. And she has an ESPN radio show over there. And so I was honored to have her drive over for the podcast. So she shows up with these cookies. I was just like,
Those are
I was
so cool.
I was tickled to death when she did that. I was like, oh, come on, you didn't do that, did you? She's like, yeah, no, it's awesome, it's fun. So, and they taste great. So,
And they're good. We're
Yeah, feel
definitely
free.
going to have one of those.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So,
We just spent some time in the West Coast too. We
Oh,
went
you did? Where?
Longboat Key.
oh, Longboat, yeah.
It's nice.
Yep, nice.
Yeah.
I went to school in Sarasota. That's
you're
where I went to
kidding
Ringling.
me.
Yeah, that's where I went to art
Oh,
school.
wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So it was cool. This is a little while. It's a little bit more developed than when I went there.
Big time. Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I like that area, Lido Beach and Longboat
Yeah.
Key and Siesta Key.
Siesta
and
Key. Yeah.
had a lot of fun over there.
It's really cool over
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I
And
like
it.
it.
It was cool because I grew up here on the East Coast, and getting that West Coast vibe
It's a
from
different
fishing.
world.
Yeah,
It's a
when
different
I was
world.
like 18 years old, I was like, wow, what is this? Completely different kind of fishing than I've ever.
Completely different. It's
Yeah. So we've always snook fished over here and stuff like that, but it's just different over
Yeah,
there. The
yeah.
coastline is different, the people are different, just a different kind of.
It almost
way they
brings you
roll
down to this whole it's relaxing over there, but you still can it's very quiet. It's a quiet zone. It's
Yeah.
weird, right?
Yeah.
But I like it.
Yeah,
It's nice.
it took a little
It's
getting
an
used to.
interesting vibe. It's
Took a little getting used to, like being from over here, then getting thrown over
yeah.
there, especially when you're 18.
Yeah.
Like you're used to like the more fast pace,
Oh, definitely.
and over there it's just so slow.
Everything closes at 9 or 10.
Right. And Tampa's its own world.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We have
For
not.
better or worse, but I'm not saying anything negative about it. It's just its own world.
It's a different. Yeah. We've not really branched out to go to Tampa when we're in Longboat Key. I don't think. We've not been over there just to pick you up from the airport maybe once
Yeah, no, we never really hung
when she
out in
flew over,
Tampa.
but we never really hung out in Tampa.
Yeah.
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 All right.
But I like it. Oh, the West Coast is nice. I think my dad's going to move to Bradenton.
Oh, really?
She's in
That's where
Atlanta.
my brother lives now.
Oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. I think it's nice. I think it'll be good for
Yeah.
my dad to move down there. He'll be closer to me, like you're talking about. They get older.
Yeah, it's kind of
Parents.
down home. It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
He wants to be on the water. He wants to be, do something. He enjoys that. So we'll see.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Let me officially welcome you guys to the show. Right? Sometimes I forget to do that. And I want to make one announcement before we really get started.
Okay.
Welcome to Connected by Water, presented by Joey Cardi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And we're here today with Mikaela Whitmer, right? And Heather Reinoehl. Did I say that correctly?
That's correct. It's Heather Reinoehl Whitmer.
Reinoehl,
Yeah,
Reinoehl. All right.
Reinoehl. It's okay.
Sorry.
That's my maiden name, and a lot of people know me by my maiden name. So that's
Okay.
why I kind of keep it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my
Gotcha.
husband's going to divorce me about it, but it's okay.
All right. I hear you. I'm really, really excited to have you guys here. I want to make one mention because I've been mentioning this one thing at the end of every podcast. I want to actually start off with it now that we're in December. There's a promotion going on for the Fishing for Muscular Dystrophy, the FFMD, where they sell these raffle tickets every year. We wrapped a truck and a boat and a golf cart that they're raffling off. All the money goes to the Fishing for Muscular Dystrophy to raise awareness, obviously, but all the money that they get goes right to the kids.
Awesome.
I've heard of the tournament. Yeah, I've heard of
so
it, seen
Paul
it.
Robertson and Tiffany Tollotson, they do an outstanding job. It's an amazing organization run by amazing people. We've been announcing it on every episode, but we want to do it at the beginning so it doesn't get lost in
Right.
the sauce at the end. So I just want to make sure that if everyone can go to ffmdraffle.org,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And buy a ticket. Don't do it for the truck. Don't do it for the boat. Don't do it for the cart. Do it for the cause.
Do it for the kids.
And speaking of causes, all right, that's my segue into you
Yes.
because I'm really, really excited to have you on the show today. Really, really honored to have you on the show because you are an inspiration to us all. I'm sure you get a lot of that, and I'm sure you hear that all the time, right? So, but I'm going to give it to you again because you deserve it.
Thank you.
So you started a tournament, right, at an early age.
Yes.
And I know a lot of people probably ask you this. You've done a lot of interviews. You've been on television about this with Channel 6 News and all this, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
and people ask you all the same questions, right? And so I want to try to get a little bit beneath you today, right? A little bit beneath the surface, because I think it's important that people understand who you are and what you do and why you do it, right? A lot of people can ask you, oh, you did it at a young age, and and all that, and But I want to know what drives and what motivates you to do these things, right? Because you started at, what grade was it?
I was in 8th grade.
You were in the 8th grade, and you decided you wanted to start a fishing tournament to raise money for autism, right? Okay. So take me through that process a little bit, if you will.
Okay. So in 8th grade, I was in Deerfield Beach Middle School. I was in the International Baccalaureate program, and all the 8th graders in that program had to do a passion project, a community service project, something they were passionate about. I love the ocean. I loved fishing, since I was a baby in the ocean, boat. I loved it. I really want to do a fishing tournament, so I got together with these 3 boys, and they loved fishing too. I've known them since elementary school, and I was like, let's do it, because we had to be in groups. And a couple teachers, they actually doubted me. They're like, it's too big, and they're from, around here, so they know what it's like to put on a fishing tournament and how much goes into it.
It's not easy.
And they're like, I don't know if you should do that, really doubting me. And I came home to her, and she's like, listen, do you want to do this or not? And I was like, I want to do it. And she's like, then let's do it. So she was she's PTA. So she knew, what would give money to the cause, bring money to the cause, raffles, silent auctions, stuff like that. Go get donations so we can make money for the cause. I was like, okay. So I had a lot of help from her, a lot of guidance and connections as well through her. And once I put it on, it was successful. We raised like $2,000 our first year. I think I had 11
You got
boats.
an A, right?
Yes, I got an A.
I would hope so.
So it was super successful, and my IB coordinator, Dr. Del Pino, she was like, listen, if you keep going on with this, throughout your high school, you'll probably get a really good scholarship into college. And, it was a lot of work for me, and I was kind of like, I don't know, if I want to do it. But when everything went down, like the captain's meeting, the weigh-in, I loved it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I loved doing it. And
You're just wired that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is so cool. You get the younger generation, and I had a couple like big guy captains fishing it, and they liked it, and they're like, are you going to keep doing it? Are you going to keep doing it? Asking me like all the time, and I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, now let's put it on. Let's do it again.
Yeah, cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And
So-
it's really good that that you felt that moment. A lot of people aren't able to embrace it like that, and they think it's too stressful, or they just don't want the responsibility.
Yeah.
But you threw all that aside, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it has a lot to do with how you were raised,
Definitely.
right?
Definitely.
And
how
it
I was
sounds
raised.
like you had the right person to put that foundation there.
Yeah.
Which is extremely important. And I will say that that's not all of it. Some people have that foundation, some people have connections, and just do not take that next step to utilize what's in front of them. So
Yeah.
that alone is an accomplishment, that you recognize that and you did utilize those resources. I mean, phenomenal. So you started this when you were in the 8th grade,
8th grade.
and you continued it through high school.
Throughout high school.
So what
Yes.
year are we in now?
So I'm a sophomore in college now. Last year was my 6th annual year.
Okay.
And last year we had 56 boats. And
56 boats.
it was crazy.
Beautiful.
It was
Beautiful.
awesome.
This is for the Trash Can Slam.
This is for
right?
the Trash Can Slam.
So for those of you listening, we're talking about the Trash Can Slam, right? This is what Mikaela puts on every year. It's a meat tournament,
Yep.
right? And it raises money for autism. So now, take me through the autism thing. What innately makes you kind of promote this aspect?
So when I was in 8th grade, during my elementary school years, I knew a lot of the autistic program, like the coordinators or the teachers. And, you know, I would see them and go in the room with them like a safety patrol type of thing. And, you know, it's so sad, those kids. And so we saw that. And also my uncle, he lives up in Minnesota. He has 2 girls, Mikaela, which is about my age. She's like on the highest spectrum, like the highest part. Like she probably won't be able to talk, and it's really difficult for them to deal with. And also Jasper, she's a little older. She's functional. She goes to college, but she's also on the spectrum, lower part though. She can talk to you and stuff, but you know, it's so difficult. And I feel like there's no cure for this. People have to deal with it, and I feel like giving money to these kids really helps them because they need it. You know, so I was like, let's give it to that. When we first were in 8th grade, I was like, we have to give it to autism.
Yeah, that's great. And you're specifically giving it to the school program, right?
So
or how's that work now?
So I gave all of the money, to Deerfield Beach Elementary and middle school. And so we give it, usually teachers, they pull out of their pockets because kids are breaking things all the time. So we donated money, and they would give sensory items, technology. We donated iPads one year, hands-on games and books and CDs. And also there's this thing, it's like a licensing thing that they have for the programs, the autism programs, and they have to renew it every year. It's an educational program that it's like a picture, and they have words on it, and it's like a schedule for the kids that they look at, and they point out, okay, it's time to do this now, it's time to do that now, and it's just like a big licensing board thing that they had to pay for. So that's like how the money would go through to them. And also, when I was in Pompano Beach, I went to Pompano Beach High School.
Okay.
And I was a senior, and they didn't really have a autism program in there like they did like my middle school and my elementary school. So we had one kid in our school that was in the same graduating class, and he was diagnosed with a little bit of autism, but he was still able to function. And I gave him $1,000 scholarship at the end of the year to do what he wanted, and it was so cool. I had this, it's a funny story. My mom had this Ocean Reef fan like in the back of her trunk, and she's like, hey, listen, we're gonna put a trash can slam, like the logo on it, and we're gonna do all real hundreds around the whole thing, like a fan, and you're gonna give it to them because they had this like scholarship thing one night for like 2 hours where people were giving out scholarships, like schools and colleges and other like, you know how they do the women's scholarship and all this. So there was like representatives coming and giving out scholarships, and I was like I was the only student giving out a scholarship, and I gave it to him. I'm not going to say his name because I think the parents are little, but yeah, it was awesome. It was so cool. He loved it.
It was fun to watch him. She said she knew him, so she said, Mom, I just don't want to hand a piece of paper to him. He's not going to get it. Like there's some of those autistic kids are super smart, and then some other. So she's like, he's just going to be like, and so I said, well, put real hundreds on a fan or something. I don't know. Like,
yeah, everyone understands that, right?
Yeah, it was really
I'm like,
wild.
these are real hundreds to the parents, and they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. You know, so
he
that's awesome.
He was doing a camp or something. Her guidance counselor had mentioned to her that he wanted to go to like this camp or something after school was done, because a lot of these kids don't know what they're doing when they're after high school's done. You know, the parents have they have all that help with the school, you know, for the most part. And then after that, what do they do? Do they try to get jobs? Do they?
Yeah, it's like ship out to sea, right?
Weird.
It's very scary, you know.
It's difficult.
Wow.
Yeah, so
you put on this tournament, and it's all the funds go to this research, right? And there got to be some for like operating costs and everything like that, or
of course. We do have a lot of great sponsors. You know,
that's awesome.
And so personally in December, like this upcoming after I'm done with my Sailfish Slam, I'm going to get a 501c3. Like I'm going to be registered, because when I was younger, I didn't know if I was going to keep doing this. I didn't know if I wanted to register it through the government and do all that stuff.
And you were also in the 8th grade.
And, yeah, and I'm also like through high school, and I'm like, okay, you know, and that's it costs money, and you know, we were tight on funds, and I think for the first couple of years, you know, T-shirts cost money, stickers cost money, buckets cost money, cups cost money. So we were actually taken out of our pocket for a little bit.
Wow.
But we have awesome sponsors. Like I just want to name these guys: D&D Welding, World Diamond Source, Florida Marine Decks, Top Shelf Marine Products. They gave from their heart, and they would give us, you know, some funds for our T-shirts, because that's a lot of money. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
very,
you know
very
that
cool.
what it goes into, and you're doing the shirts, and
definitely.
then you buy all these shirts, and you hope you're going to sell them.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
right.
You never know. You know what I mean? You're dealing with a lot of kids that want to do the tournament, so you know that just them getting up the entry fee, and you kind of want to give them. I usually do as PTA mom. Like after it's done, I'm like, you know, I try to.
Well, I mean, I think the cool thing is like this is what in our minds here at the studio, what Connected by Water is all about. The name Connected by Water is all about bringing that community together like this, right? At all costs, really. You know, and that aquatic community in South Florida, and particularly Pompano Beach, is extremely strong.
Yeah.
And you know, and we know it. You know, we grew up in it, right? And we understand what a nice nest of a situation that is, and how it always pulls together when it needs to, right?
Always.
And I love the fact that I'm looking at you as I don't have to worry about the next generation now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got it. You know, and it's inspiring to see, you know, and it makes me happy, you know, and we try to do a lot ourselves here for the community, and just to see, you know, the younger generation pulling up the reins and taking the flag for the next level is just really, really inspiring to me. Just to watch your work and to hear the stories and to see everyone get together around this tournament and pull together. It's just really, really wonderful. And I love the fact that you've created somewhat of culture in this tournament for Pompano. And you know, kudos to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and one of the things I want to talk about too is your artwork.
Yes.
Because, you know, growing up as a marine life artist in Pompano myself, right, it's always also inspiring to see someone, you know, taking the same direction, the same path that I once did. And I love the fact that, you know, you do all your own shirt designs, and you want to kind of take control of that and really, you know, just get it all, and it looks great and outstanding.
Thank you.
And I really just love everything you're doing with the swordfish bills. And you recently started your own company, didn't you?
Yeah, I guess it's a company, Whitmer Made Art. That's,
now,
you know,
mind you, you're still in college.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so you go to Nova, right?
Yeah, I go to Nova Southeastern.
So you go to Nova Southeastern University, but you know, you got your entrepreneurial spirits about you, like it's innately ingrained into you. So what's your vision for this?
I really love art as a passion. You know, I'm going to school I'm in a great program. I'm in the Huizinga Business of College, Razor's Edge Shark Cage. It's like an entrepreneurship program, and there's only a couple select kids that get in, and they love the tournament, and they're like, Mikaela, we want you in here. And it's a really prestigious program. I get my MBA in 4 years. I don't know what I want to do with that.
Whatever you want.
I love doing artwork, but I just don't know if I can see myself doing art for like my rest of my life, because I love it as a passion and I don't want it to become a job. But I am still.
I can speak firsthand to this, my friend. Some days are better than others, that's for sure.
I am still doing I have a lot of custom swordfish bill orders, which is awesome, and I love seeing captains, fishermen, kids wearing my shirts, my Trash Can Slam shirts, because all my logos, a different logo each year. I love that, and it's really inspiring. But
see,
right
for me,
now,
that's really cool. Like, you know, when I see like people wearing my art on their backs, like all the time, like even to this day, like you would think that at this point I'm just like over it, you know what I mean? But no, like every time I see them,
it's
like, hey,
so cool,
very exciting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's you know, it's really
awesome.
And I love, and for me personally, I love that passion is still there. You know what I mean? Like you say, like you don't want to do it for a living, you know, because you're afraid of losing that passion. don't let that be a deterrent, though.
No,
You know
I
what I
won't.
mean? And I really mean that. Like, if it's really something that you truly want to follow, and you know what I mean, don't worry about that aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's something that you want to do, do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean that. You know, don't.
I agree with you.
Yeah, for the passion aspect of it, and you know, people say, so if I do it from a job, I'm going to hate it or whatever like that. You're going to have days, but the good days outweigh the bad days. I can tell you that, because all you got to do sometimes is like, you know what, I could be stuck behind a computer or listening to some like behind my ear.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Tell me what to do, and you carve your own path, whatever you do.
Yeah, and her.
Because she's got it in her.
Oh yeah, and
You know what I
her-
mean? Like you have
Yeah.
that innate foundation in you to carve your own path. Don't ever lose that. Whatever you decide to do, whether it's art or just
Right.
you know, some business venture, anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, her dad always tells her, and my son, if you do what you love, you're never going to work a day in your life. So if you keep doing what you love, you won't even realize that you're working.
It's
And
cliche,
she does
but
when-
it's true.
It's when she's doing her art in the back room, and she's loving it, and she's enjoying herself, and
Mm-hmm.
it's perfect.
Yeah, that's the
the
strangest
key.
part about that's the strangest part about doing, you know, working and doing what you love to do.
Yeah,
Is that, you know, you think that, you know, you're going to hate it one day,
you do. Yeah,
but if you really do passionately love it, you're not. It's kind of strange. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah.
it is an interesting.
It's strange.
It's
but
strange.
true.
Yeah, it's
It
strange,
is
right?
strange, it's
You know what
true.
else is strange?
What?
Are strange questions that are
Are
we
strange
go.
fans
questions.
have mailed into us, and we're going to ask you today. So these are ours. This is a section we do every episode, right?
Okay.
And it's sponsored by Papa's Polar Rum. These are the Never a Spectator strange questions for Mikaela Whitmer. Strange questions, right? And I'm going to start off, and I'll admittedly, so probably not the best question, but it is a question from a heavy hitter that we really adore here at the studio. Captain Art Sap
Oh,
Familiar.
wants to ask, how old are you?
I
And I probably asked that just like Art would too. Be like, how old are you? Like how he talks, right?
I'm 19 years old.
19 years old.
Yeah.
There you go, Art. You got your answer. 19 years old. It's incredible. And the next one comes from another heavy hitter, Troy Ganter, which you know Troy very well.
Yes.
We all do here. And Troy is a friend of the studio,
Awesome
and
guy.
he's associated with the podcast, and we have the Connected by Water inspired sushi menu at Papa's Raw Bar. Troy asks two questions. He says, "Who inspires you the most?" I'll let you answer that one first.
I knew I was going to get asked this question.
Were you?
I feel like I have met so many people in my life that have inspired me. It goes from my mom, my grandmother, a lot of people, and also like music inspires me. I just don't know. I can't like narrow it down. I have too many people who have entered my life and have inspired me to do many things. So I don't know an exact answer to that question.
No, that's a good answer.
I
That's
just
a good
feel
you
it's so
pull from-
broad.
Yeah, I like it. You know, there's when it comes from inspiration, there's an artist, Chuck Close. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Chuck. If not, you got to check out his work. And Chuck was he was in the 60s. He was a pop artist in New York, and he got into a car accident, and he was relegated to a wheelchair. And he was like, "Well, how am I going to paint now?" kind of thing. And at a certain point, he just got frustrated with sitting there all day. He's like, "Whatever, I'm just going to paint at any cost." And he painted in his wheelchair and had an assistant help him and everything like that. And through that hard work, he came up with one of the most famous lines in all of art history, I think. And he says, "Inspiration is for amateurs. The rest of us wake up early every morning to get to work."
wow.
Right? Which means basically you can't sit around and wait for inspiration to hit you,
Exactly.
because the
Right.
day doesn't wait for you.
No.
Right? You just got to get up and do what you're going to do and make it happen. You know what I mean? Don't sit around and wait for inspiration.
Yeah.
Right? And Troy also asked, who takes out the trash?
Well, my brother's supposed to, but usually that doesn't end up happening. So
Maybe every third month.
Gotcha. All right. The next question comes from Chris Hill. Who inspired your artistic painting abilities?
okay, so I have a couple people for this. We have a lot of fish art in our house. We have a lot of like Guy Harvey photos. We have just this one in particular. There's a mirror in my back room, and it has a sailfish on it. And there's 3 flying fish on the mirror. So in 3rd grade, this is where my artist sparked. In 3rd grade, I drew this sailfish. I was in like an art club in elementary school with all these kids, and I turned it in, and it was I looked at the sailfish on the mirror, and I drew the exact same thing, kind of. I colored it, made it pretty colors. And then the art teacher came to me a couple of weeks later and was like, hey, we're going to use your sailfish artwork for the next year's spirit shirts. So every Friday, kids wore my artwork on the back of their shirt with the sailfish, colorful sailfish, at Deerfield Beach Elementary School, and I was in 4th grade, and it was sick.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And
it was lime green.
it was a lime green T-shirt, yeah.
So everybody saw it.
Yeah, you know, and also my mom grew up with Bobby Boyle, and I was in his shop a lot looking at all of his artwork and all of his canvas art, and we would go to art fairs when he back when I was young, and he would be having his canvas art, his illustrations, and I loved it. And also the ocean. I love the ocean. Everything, you know, I surf, I fish, I boat, I dive. I love it. And that really has inspired me to want to recreate and illustrate fish and marine life and Mother Nature, all in all. So that's that.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. All right, our next question comes from Skip Dana, another heavy hitter.
Love Skip.
Right? You may not want to answer this one. Well, he says, who is your favorite all-kids team in the Trash Can Slam? This I know it's probably going to be a tough one for you to answer.
This is tough, you know, because I do have a lot of all kids teams, and I love seeing that, you know. I love seeing and also like all family teams and all kids teams, and then, you know, we got like my age teenagers that are like, we're
troublemakers.
Yeah.
Kidding.
But Skip has been awesome. He has helped me from the start, from the first
Skip's
annual.
amazing.
He just has so much information, and he has guided me so much, and yeah, you know, and they always want to win the trash can, because I do have my trash can fish category, the biggest barracuda, and Skip always pulls up with a big barracuda.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think probably for about three of the years out of the 6 years, Skip has won the trash can, and I think I have to give it to Skip's team.
There you go.
Their Papa
There you
Top
go,
team.
Skip. You got it. You got it. Now, I got to say one thing about Skip, and just from a Pompano Lighthouse Point perspective alone, he really does a lot for the community.
He does
and
so
he
much.
never asks for any credit for all the stuff that he does. And he's just one of those silent warriors in the background, just doing good wherever he can.
Super humble.
And I gotta, super, super humble. And it's just, you know, it doesn't surprise me one bit that he's all into this, because he's all about raising up his local community, and it's exactly what your tournament does.
Yeah.
You know, and this is right up Skip's alley, so it doesn't surprise me that he's really trying to win it every year.
Yeah, he does. He loves it.
Yeah, he's great. He needs a medal too, because when we were doing PTA full of women that constantly chatter and gossip and bicker, we pulled him in. We were like, we need you, Skip.
Yeah.
And he was like doing PTA with us at Deerfield Beach Elementary School.
Yeah, that's great.
He's
great.
Awesome.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely great dad,
Just the
great
greatest.
fisherman,
Yes.
great steward and ambassador for our area. So our next question comes from Coastal Caitlin Rosado from the Naughty Gator. All right. So she says to me, she wants me to ask you, Mikaela, you are definitely an inspiration to me, because I eventually would love to get into boat building and other fishing related jobs. Do you have any advice for breaking into a sport with mostly boys? Also, what are some of the biggest obstacles you've overcome between school, family, and friends when it comes to putting together such an awesome tournament?
Wow.
That's a
Loaded
great
question. Great question,
That's
right?
an awesome question.
And I can speak wholeheartedly about this girl. She is salt of the earth, one of the best kids I've ever met, for sure. So it doesn't surprise me that she asks such a great, poignant question.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of obstacles. I would just like to mention this is like my biggest fear in coming out and doing this in the fishing community, is that it's your name. And you don't want anything to go wrong during your tournament. And that's my fear when I'm putting it on. You don't want anyone to say anything bad about your tournament, because that's your name. So that would be one of my biggest fears in the fishing community filled with boys.
Right.
And men and stuff. So, okay, let's see. What else did I need?
And did you find that you had like a like, I know you had your mom like right off the bat, but did you have a big supporting cast for that first one, or?
I did. I had, I had Skip, like we mentioned, Bobby Boyle fished it, and he always donates a painting every year, and he's been doing that since I was young. And another big obstacle was when I was younger was when I would go into businesses and ask for donations. And that was hard. I was young, and I was going into businesses and asking them to sacrifice something for, to give me for my tournament. And I was like, 15 or something, going into these places. It's hard, but now, I'm kind of used to it. I can talk to people, and I get the gist. And then, everyone kind of knows it now because it's getting up to being like the 7th year, lucky number 7. So, and also it is all about connections. It really is connected by water. It is.
Right. Connected by water. Exactly.
So, yeah.
Very cool. I think the other thing she is breaking in, any advice for breaking into a sport with mostly boys, I guess but
I don't think there's so many awesome women fishermen that are out there, and you just
times are changing a little bit.
Totally. I know a lot of women captains too, because I was thinking about maybe I should be a captain. I should just get my captain's license, and that's awesome that women are starting to get. They're not starting. They've been into fishing. I know there's so many people that love to fish that are girls and chicks. So,
that's great. It's outstanding. And we have another one here from someone who I know for a fact, and I'm very close with this next person. And she is a young, aspiring angler as well. And I know she looks up to you greatly, Lorelei Bennett. From Insanity.
Yeah, I know her.
She said, where did the Trash Can Slam name come from? And when you started, how did you find time to plan it while you're going to high school?
Okay, so when I was in 8th grade, we did have our little group. So I was in a group with Max Jones, Zach Fletcher, and Giovanni Rodriguez. And Max Jones was like, they were hard to work with. They were boys, but no offense, guys. And they just wanted to fish.
8th grade boys are not easy to work with. That's no secret.
No, so I was like trying to draw it, and I was like, we got to give it a name. And he just looked at me, and he's like, Trash Can Slam. And I was like, where'd you come up with that? And he's like, I threw a paper at a trash can a couple hours ago, and I was like, Trash Can Slam. And I'm like, no one's going to forget that name. Trash Can Slam, TCS. That's like, let's do it. And it just stuck. And I think it sticks in everyone's mind as well, And also, on the side of our T-shirts, we do have this little thing. It says kick autism to the curb. And a lot of people were like, what does that mean? Like, they kind of like thought it as like a bad thing, but no, it's not, and I was just thinking about the trash can to the curb, and, and we want to, donate funds to these kids who need it and need things to operate in their everyday life, and to make their parents, have it easier. So, but anyways, finding the time. Oh gosh, I'm such a procrastinator. I really am. I mean, you see me with the Sailfish Slam
the best of us are.
Month in advance. Let's put the news out month in advance. I don't know. The time is just, you just got to do it. When I was younger, she would run me around in her car, and I would have to get out and, and make sure you go on weeknights so the restaurants weren't busy or places weren't busy. And I don't know, you gotta love to do it, and then time doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, that's it. When that speaks to the passion, right?
Yep.
We talked about earlier. It just, all the rest just kind of melts away.
Yeah, that's it. You worked hard. You didn't even know you were working. She was constantly like, she never stopped doing anything. She's constantly keeping things in order, and every day doing her homework first. Straight A student.
Yeah.
I try. School's first, though. School is first.
Sure.
You
Which I'm proud of. Straight A student,
Yeah.
She was.
Sometimes though, like when you are a certain way, there's really no clear line between it all. It's like a blurred line. To where you just get it all done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you want to say school's first and priority, that's the right thing to say. And it's cool. You know what I mean? That you did say that, and it's true. But really, your life accomplishments and the things you want to accomplish outside of school too are just
Right.
as important in forming yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As an adult or just as a human being. You know what I mean? That's the groundwork that's being laid in you as well.
Yeah.
If not even more.
Yeah.
Important than some of the just remembering who the 5th president of the United States
Right,
was.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I know
no,
what
it
you
wasn't
mean.
like that. It wasn't like she was a book. It just was like, I think she would come home and just say like,
I got to get this stuff
Yeah,
done so
that
I
was
can
it.
do what
let
I
me get
need
this
to
done,
do.
and I'm
you know,
Yeah.
done, and I'm
because
And we homeschool, so I mean that's one of the important things for educating our children too. Is like not only just teaching them the book smart stuff,
Exactly.
it's teaching them life skills.
absolutely.
Because a lot of parents, kid went to school today. I come home from work. We don't need to talk about anything.
Right.
Just turn
Yep.
on the TV
Right.
and
Agreed.
it's like no,
Yeah.
you need to really sit and teach
Yeah.
your child the basics of life, not only just the basics
Exactly.
of school.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I
And
agree.
I have one of each. Mikaela's a totally different breed than her brother Mikey. Mikey's more like, he's learning all the life skills.
Yeah.
Which is great. And so is she. Is didn't you get something for Mikaela was honored for Silver Knight Award. That's what it was. We went to
Community
'cause
service
she's
hours.
Oh, cool.
rounded student, meaning like
Yeah, I was a Silver Knight too.
really?
Yeah, for art.
How
Yeah.
awesome.
So
Yeah.
I was for art too, but I didn't get the full award, but
Oh.
I was nominated as one, which was cool, and
That's
you had to do
winning
all that
anyway.
work.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was cool. It was a cool experience.
Yeah, that's cool. Did they still do it at Parker Playhouse?
Yes, they
Yes.
do.
Yeah. That was like a heart pounding moment too.
Oh my
where,
gosh,
like,
there were so many kids.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of my friends that were going with me to the school, and when they announced like who the art person was, and it wasn't me, I had like 4 or 5 of my friends like, "Are you kidding me? You didn't get it." I'm like, I don't know.
It's
But it's okay.
It's so tough though. Like you can't really gauge it on that because you're resting your work and everything that you've done on the laps of maybe was it 5 judges or whatever
Yeah,
it is to
yeah.
make a decision. You know what I mean? To look at people that
Absolutely.
they've never met and just look at your presentation or whatever it is.
That was probably my worst interview I did.
That's what I mean.
That's what I
It's
thought
like
to
you're
myself.
looking at your path and you're allowing it to be judged by 5 individuals.
Yeah.
You can't use that as a benchmark. I mean, sure, it'd been nice to win and everything.
Right.
It
Yeah.
always is, but
Yeah.
still.
No, it was a cool
You know what I mean?
experience though to
Just
go
the
there
fact that
and
you
see-
got nominated
Yeah.
to This Is Silver Night, you're a winner.
That's
for sure.
exactly
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
said too.
So speaking of winner, there's going to be a winner in another tournament soon,
Yes.
right? So all right. So time out for a second. You have done a great thing with the Trash Can Slam, an amazing thing. You raised a lot of money we've just talked through all this, right? But and you're also a sophomore at Nova Southeastern University. You got this. You go to the Huizinga School and all these other great. But that's not enough for you. Apparently, you have to do a Sailfish tournament
gosh.
too, right?
Yes.
And that's coming up in the next week or so. Next week and a half,
Next weekend,
right? Next
December
weekend?
12th,
December 12th.
Oh my goodness.
And we're calling this what?
the Sailfish Slam.
So, were you bored? I mean, what's going on?
I had a lot of.
I mean, you don't have enough to do before Christmas
That's
comes.
what
I
I'm
mean,
talking
what's going
about.
on?
She was like about to kill me when I said we got to do it. I had a lot of people and a lot of different captains come to me and they're like, "You should really put on a Sailfish tournament," and I had such a good turnout for my meat tournament, but some meat fishing guys aren't sail fishing guys. And I kind of just wanted to dip my toes and I just wanted to see, there's no weigh-in spot because the weigh-in is usually a big part. It's a lot of work.
Right.
And it's all going to be, over video. That's going to how, you judge it and stuff.
That's going to be a daunting task in itself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're going to
So
try, but I have a pretty nice little captain's committee
good.
and I have some good people that are going to help me out and I've already had people help me out. And I don't know, I'm going to see what happens and maybe we can see some laundry hanging. I want to see it. I
right?
want to see what's
Yeah.
going on.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So it's a one-day release tournament?
Yeah, it's a one-day fishing tournament.
Okay.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yep.
All right. And it's all video recorded release. Is there a meat division?
Yep. No, there's no meat division. I really wanted to keep
Good.
it simple. Just a
Good.
billfish tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It gets too crazy.
Yeah.
I just have the general entry fee and then I have 3 tiers that people can enter into if they want to, like almost like a Calcutta. So,
Okay. Is there a charitable benefit to the?
Oh, yes, of course there is. So I am going to be taking 10% off the top of all of the entry fees. But I do it like the meat fishing tournament's different on how I, split up the money. So this one had to be like 10% off the top of the tiers and the entry fee as well. So obviously I'm going to have, hopefully this year I'm not doing all the bells and whistles. Well, not this year, but the Sailfish for the Sailfish Slam. I'm not doing like the raffles and the donation or raffles and silent auctions, you know. I'm just, and no t-shirts.
It's tough with COVID this year.
It is.
It is. It's very, very,
it's
very
hard to ask businesses, especially.
You
so
can't ask
even
people.
even last year for the 6th annual Trash Can Slam, I didn't have a lot of businesses give like I usually do, and I totally understood. I didn't even really ask a lot of people, so.
We do a lot of tournament work and event work and everything, and it's been a very tough year. I know. I mean, not just for us, but I mean for all our relationships that we have too. There was even a tournament at the beginning of the year that got canceled, and then they rescheduled it to just recently, and that got canceled too. And it's it's like everyone keeps bumping them out. And I know Jimmy's probably been having a tough time dealing with. I mean, they've been doing great, you know what I mean, but still, it's been.
You have to adapt.
Yeah.
But it's been tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, are you going to do a captain's party?
Yes, so I'm doing a captain's meeting at the world famous Papa's Raw Bar.
There you go.
In the Barrel Room, VIP.
Very nice.
It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited for it. And it's going to be awesome for my captains too. They're going to love it. It's all about making the fishermen happy.
Yeah,
because those are, those.
It's all about the experience for sure. I mean, anyone can run a sailfish tournament and say, hey, let's all fish on the same day and then give me your money, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the experience in delivering the experience of a product, and that's definitely a lesson that I learned working with the Jimmy Johnson tournament crew. Is that they're all about that experience with, making that a great premier event.
Yeah.
People love just going to all the events and doing all the things just as much as they do fishing. That's for sure.
Exactly.
It's fun, exciting, lights.
And it's nice you get Troy backing you up on this one. I'm
Yes.
sure, he's always about, the yaman and the you know what I mean, and the be local and promoting local, supporting locals. And I know
Troy's
he's a big
been
believer
so
in that.
good.
Troy's
amazing.
always been, he would give me $100 gift cards and wine from Papa's when I was, back in the
That's
years.
why
so.
Skip wants to win the trash can because there's
he
a
wants to-
$100
yeah,
Papa's
right.
gift card
That's
in
it.
there.
Yeah, so it's so awesome that we're pairing up with him this year. I'm really excited for it. And also we're doing the winning ceremony there too on Monday night, where we're going to be giving out all the cash.
Very cool.
So,
Very,
it's going
very
to be
cool.
fun.
It's good for him too because the barrel room is new and it's like a big secret. Nobody knows what's in it, how it runs.
Yeah.
So I just think it's awesome that he was all about okay, let's do it in here, And I was getting all excited. I'm like, oh, this is going to be so much fun.
And Troy always knows how to do it right.
Yeah.
Whatever he touches turns to gold. So
so it's actually nice.
Yeah.
This part's going to be nice. And she really wants to see if she can get, I think speaking for you, with this
Always.
tournament, if she has,
This is my manager,
I know.
guys. I'm just kidding.
it's all good.
I've been really,
we should all be so lucky.
Justin, I've been really quiet. That's all I'm going to say.
So you know what? Really, you're going to say that, but Justin wanted me to ask questions here too, and I'm going to bring this up. It's not really a question, right? And I don't mean to cut you off.
No.
But he says, what do you call a fish that won't shut up? And this was his question, right? Do you know? A big mouth bass.
A big mouth
A
bass.
big mouth bass.
Yeah, and then how do you communicate with a fish?
I don't know, hand signals.
Drop it a line. So,
Drop it a line.
and then he
Good one.
sends me pictures of him drinking beer.
I think those are Pierce punches.
Yeah,
They
Pierce
are,
punches.
they
So
are.
he wanted me to ask a question about Pierce punches, but I'm not going to. So anyway, continue.
Yeah, we should keep that one as a memory. No, I know what I was going to say. I was going to say that if she even gets 30 boats just to fish this tournament, she's figured it out, which is so awesome that even though the entry fee is a little steep for her, because Trash Can Slam, she's usually with the kids and makes it
I make it
decent.
I think the expectation is the sailfish tournaments are a little bit more of an expensive show.
Correct.
Yeah.
So without getting too expensive, right? So if she has 30 boats and they each put in their $1,500, if it's $1,500, right?
Yep.
If, there's a day that you can make 45,000. Not day, but
If
the
you
winnings
go all in, you can
Across the board.
You
someone
can almost
can
win to go fishing for the day could be 45,000 split between three, the first, second, and third. But the funny thing is she's incorporated for the 10th boat to actually get their entry fee back.
I saw that.
Where it's
Nice.
1,500,
If
1,500,
we get 30
1,500.
boats, I'm just really
30
hoping for 30
boats.
boats.
If
'Cause,
30
yeah.
boats fish, you know,
30 boats, guys.
30 but Dennis, you and I
30
are
boats.
You and I are on our 10th boat, the 10th winner, and we're getting our money back.
Wow.
Who doesn't want to fish the
So
trash
if,
can slam?
so if
I
you're
mean,
as good as a third of the field, you're getting your cash
are you
back.
kidding
Yeah.
me? Yeah,
So
30
we can
boats.
only hope.
And that's with giving
You're a smart person.
And that's with giving autism the 10%. You know, when she does the meat fish, it's usually half. We're really
Half of
good
the entry
because
fee for the
Yeah.
fish.
because you know, but for this one, you want the big guys want to go out. They're going to put their boats out. They got to get gas. They want to win money. People want to
Right.
win money. You know what I
Right.
mean? And they want to have fish. They want to go fish and have fun, and they want to win. But I mean, it's a lot of money, you know, to pull the boat
Yeah.
out. You know
Yeah,
how it goes.
no, for
So
sure.
like, even if you got 5, like the kids are calling her off the wall. They're like getting mad at her. To be honest with you,
Yeah, I got a little couple
you know
kids
her
calling me.
peers.
What happened now?
Her peer. You know her peer.
They're
you know,
just
her-
calling me and they're like, you know, what the heck are you?
You know,
What is this? The
Why is it so
tournament's
much
too
money?
much. The tournament's too much money. And
why are you doing this like this?
And I'm just like, guys, I figured it out. Like, even if we get 15 boats, because I played with these numbers, I had to.
Yeah.
Even if we get 15 boats and you only enter in the general entry top, and you get first place, you can walk away with 10 grand that day. If there's 15 boats, and if you're in that general entry fee of the first place, so that's how we figured it out.
Yeah.
But I
You're
just told
playing with the
I
numbers.
told my friends, I'm like, let me just try this out. Come fish the trash can slam, the meat fishing one. I'll keep that one down. I don't want anybody to be like, oh my God, this is so much money. Because I want it to be like a fun family, friends, where, it's not that expensive.
5 guys on the boat, $300 a pop. I don't know. I
There
would
you
do
go.
it for
That's
a chance to
doable.
win
You
10
know,
grand.
That's
I mean,
doable.
it's doable,
So,
right? I mean,
Unless you don't think you're as good as,
Yeah.
a third
Well,
of the field.
well,
And
that's-
then I
yeah.
can
that's-
understand you might want to stay home if you don't think you're a good fisherman.
There's a lot of top guys
right?
that everyone's a little scared of.
Right.
I got a lot of.
But,
that's true.
But
That's true.
I mean, I'm just trying to,
Yeah.
poke the egos there.
Poke
Yeah.
the egos.
30
Yeah.
boats, guys.
Don't be
30 boats.
scared.
We need 30 boats.
30
right?
boats would be great.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think we can get there. We're going to try to promote that tournament as much because we really believe in it. We really believe in the cause and
Yes.
everything you're trying to accomplish. And do you find that any of the autism organizations are getting behind you or really trying to help out at all? You getting any support there?
I have gotten some letters from Autism Speaks thanking me for my work. I have some teachers from Deerfield Elementary, Mary Beth Williams. She is so cool. She retired though last year, and then also Allison Keenan. She's so awesome too, and they do come out and help me, but it's kind of hard to get the parents and the kids out from the program because it's hard to get them out to what I do, and that's okay. I understand.
I'm sure
that.
they don't want to be put on parade either at the same
Yeah.
time, so I can understand that.
I've had a couple families come out
Yeah.
to my captain's
Absolutely.
meeting, and it's so awesome, and I love it. Yeah, that's the thing is I've had some letters from Autism Speaks just thanking me, and
You've had some autistic kids, families fish
fish
your
it.
tournament.
Yeah, I've had, and also
The Hardy Boys.
That's great.
Yeah.
The Hardy Boys. Am I saying that right? The Hardy Boys.
think.
Friends of the Colsons, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy and son. Fished
Also,
a couple years ago.
I want to mention Mission Fishing.
Yep.
That I love that. I've done a couple times, a couple trips with the kids, helping them out, and I love doing that. And who is it? It's Tony Davis, and then Bobby hopped on with that. And
Yeah,
that,
we've gotten involved with them too. We did an event
Yeah.
at the yacht club
Yep.
with
Oh,
Troy,
right.
and I live painted. And we donated that painting that night.
I was
yeah,
gonna,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's a
should
great organization.
I wanted to come
It's
out for
super
that.
cool.
And
Yeah.
I didn't.
I love
missed that.
going to do that. I've done that. Was the last time I went with.
Yeah, I
OCD.
don't mean to say that to promote us. I'm just saying.
Oh,
like, I love.
no.
that's-
This is
that
what
it's
we-
about.
that's another one that we really
Absolutely.
want to get
No,
behind.
yeah, I love that
That's
one
a
'cause you
great,
actually
great
get the
team.
kids out
Great
there.
group.
See, that's
Yeah.
the thing, and that's
And their
what-
smiles too. I love that. It's
Yeah.
so electrifying to see those kids catch a little grunt off the Hillsborough Lighthouse, a little snapper. It's so awesome. I love
Yeah,
that.
they just want to
Yeah.
pull up fish. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
We've taken out families on our boat, my
Yeah.
husband and I, and Mikaela, and it's so, you're right, it's so much fun. And that's what you were saying to me a couple weeks ago. She was like, Mom, I wish I could do something for the kids where they're fishing, where the autistic kids from the school, you know, like a field trip to do whatever, even if it's to the pier,
Right.
that she sponsors with the money, you know, like
Yeah.
to make them go out and to the pier and let them come with their parents or something, you know, and their siblings. What about these kids that go home that have their siblings that are autistic? It's
Yep.
a lot of work.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
like it's a lot of, it's
Takes a village inside the house
takes
too,
a
right?
village. It
Yeah,
does.
for sure. And you know, and I think the important thing to communicate to whoever's listening, whoever's watching right now, is that you've laid the groundwork. Like it's there.
Yeah.
So at this point, the onus is on us, the community, to get involved. Right?
Yeah,
The
good.
platform's there. It's
Yeah.
made. It's created.
It's made.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
created.
Yeah.
It's there. Get involved. Right? Get and be a part of this. You know what I mean? Fish the trash can slam, fish the sailfish tournament, more importantly right now, immediately.
Right now.
You know, and get out, catch some sailfish, prove you're the best, and raise some money for the good cause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
What can be harder than that?
Everybody wins. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, do
Everybody
you
has
want to be
fun.
stuck at home with, avoiding the virus, or do you want to be out on the water avoiding the virus?
Exactly.
Right? So,
Yeah, that's the nice thing. We are in the state where we can get out in the water, be out on the boats.
yep. I want to
Yeah.
ask you.
It's nice. Oh dear.
I mean, it's obvious you got to be proud of this one.
So proud.
So, share your thoughts with me on what it's been like to see her, even as a little girl, and then evolve into, from the third grade, spirit shirt, and to evolving into the 8th grade tournament director, and then just seeing where she is now with school, and lay it out for me.
Yeah, well, it has been an interesting ride with Mikaela. She's
My Barbara Walters moment right now.
Yeah. Here's the funny story, because we're talking about Pompano, and that mirror I bought at Pompano Seafood Fest. Like, I'm going to be married with Mike 25 years, my husband. So I bought that mirror probably 28 years ago, so that mirror's been in our house for a long time. It's funny she said that, because I was like, God, I've had that mirror forever. Everybody loves that mirror. I mean, I pretty much stole it from the Pompano Seafood Fest, because the guy wanted not to bring it home. He's like, take it from me. I
Right.
think I paid $300 for it. It's probably
Yeah,
like
I'm not going home with
it's
this
like
thing. It's
$1,000
getting sold
mirror.
today.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll take it. But forget about that. So yeah, the T-shirt thing when she was in 3rd grade, that was awesome. I was so excited, like all the kids in the school are wearing these. We still see kids with this T-shirt on. It's hysterical. I mean, it's not lime green anymore, but it's they're wearing the T-shirt. It's really funny. But watching that, and then she was in the IB program, and sure of herself, fun. She always had great friends, and always at the beach, and just watching her. She's just a great person. I think my husband and I are super proud of what she's become. But then the 8th grade thing, like you said, when she came home, I felt really, her dad's always taken her fishing. She's caught, lots of fish, and she really loves fishing, and she was, when she came home and said that, she's like, Mom, I don't know what to do for this stupid passion project. Like, she was upset about it, because she was like, I don't know what people are doing, pet things and this, and they're giving to the pets, and they're giving to cancer. And she's like, I just don't know what I want to do, but I really want to have a fishing tournament. And she just kept talking about it. And after a while, I was just like, oh my God, you want to do this thing or what?
Right.
Just do it, and that, so when, I think she almost wanted Mom to say, like, to get the go, and so
The confirmation.
I just like,
Confirmation.
I don't know what it was, but and then, with her artwork, you're right. And then that kept going on and on, because she's like, well, how am I going to raise money? I was like, well, you could, I, with PTA, was doing the T-shirts all the time, and, we had to do a lot of stuff. So we had a T-shirt guy. I'm like, okay, draw something, you could sell the T-shirt, make money. So that went on, and then she just kept, and then for her to keep doing it, you're right. It was like, wow, she's really doing this. And when you started to see all the boats and all the people and everybody was loving it, it was like, it makes you feel really good. And the funny thing about my brother who lives in Minnesota, like his kids and his family, they really don't get to see how the great things that Mikaela does. You know what I mean? Like, they hear about them and they see pictures and stuff, but it's amazing. And they really don't get to benefit from it at all in that way. I'm sure their community does things up there for them. But I mean, it's so wonderful that she thought to give to them. You know what I mean? To give to that
Specific group.
Yeah, that group.
Yeah.
And I also think it's a lot to do with her sitting in on these PTA meetings that we used to have.
Oh, yeah.
Where, you know, as PTA president, they come to you when they need things, you know, the teachers and the groups and stuff. And she used to say, like, I can't believe all the things that they need for those kids. But she knew from her cousins breaking the sensory items, like they bite on spatulas. I mean, it's amazing things that they do. I mean, it's crazy. But without saying it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like the things that go on, they you know, these earphones we have on, like they put the earphones on, they'd break them, snap them, they break, you know, microphones, they break. So, you know, the county doesn't really give a lot of money. So PTA, we did give a lot. But I think that's where she felt like, my money is really going to be spent on good things. It's not going to be
things
just...
that are going to be used actually.
You know what I mean?
You know.
And I don't know why I'm like talking about that, but I'm just saying because it's like I don't think people realize that the teachers, just not for them, schools they don't get a lot of money for anything. You would be amazed.
Yeah.
I learned a lot by running that PTA about what the county gives to the teachers and for the kids. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So that made me happy and proud that, like, 'cause I love kids and the kids love me, obviously. I mean, they're always at my house and they love
her more than me, probably. I'm not gonna lie.
And I love them all. So I mean, yeah. So I'm so proud to see that she shines so great, and I love that, you know, we grew up on the water and connected by water. I mean, she's
the community.
Yeah.
Totally
So yeah, I guess yeah. I mean, I don't know if I answered that or
No,
said
you
too
did.
much.
No, for
I just
sure,
think it's
you know?
great. I think it's great. I think another great thing that I love is teaching her those communication skills, like you and I were talking about earlier, about being part of being. Today, a lot of kids are on their phones. They don't look up. They don't have a conversation. They don't. I remember dropping her off in front of J.R. Dunn, and I said, "Get out of the car and go in there and talk to Jim Dunn. Get something." We need something from him.
Right.
They did. They donated an
Let me tell you
awesome
something.
piece.
He was so funny when we went in there. It was so funny. And then I walked in later on, and he looks at me, and he's like, all right, I want to hear it. Spiel it out.
Yeah.
I know what you're here for. It was
Nice.
hysterical.
Nice.
But he did. I mean, they made this beautiful swordfish tail.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was amazing. And then we auctioned it off. And I'll never forget, it was Julie Wheeler, Captain Eddie Wheeler. He wanted it for Julie. And then Mary Beth Williams, who was the coordinator for the autistic cluster, her husband and her, they loved everything that Mikaela did for her
program, because she was the main guy.
And she was telling her husband, I want to buy that for Mikaela. I want to buy that for Mikaela.
Oh, wow.
So they
She
were
did.
going hand in hand.
They were.
It was hysterical. And then Eddie had to walk over to them and go, look, what are you going to do? Like, I want this for my wife. And they're like, we want this for Mikaela. Like, they had no idea. And till this day, sometimes I have to say to her, like, why don't you wear that? She still feels like
I don't like to.
I should
It's
not
like
be wearing
I
that.
went and
Like,
got it for my silent auction, and
Yeah.
then it was a
such
gift,
a funny
you
story.
know?
Yeah,
The humility, right?
Yeah,
The
it was like
humble
that
nature
humble
of
thing.
it.
She's
Yeah.
like, I should not have that necklace, Mom. I'm like, they wanted you to have it. Be quiet. Learn how
You
to
should
say
wear
thank
it.
you.
You earned it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's it.
I
makes
do
me,
put it on.
Yeah,
during
I know
my
you do.
I put it on during my captain's meeting when I'm
Yeah.
doing my trash can stuff. So that's
Maybe
always
you should
good.
be proud of that for
But-
sure. You,
but,
know, you should definitely be proud of her. And there's no right or wrong way to answer what I asked
Yeah,
you.
you're
know
right.
What I mean,
I mean, I am.
I just really want to kind of put a spotlight on the two of you because you really are. You really do mean so much to the community, and you really do a lot of hard work
Thank
and
you.
accomplish great things. And
She
you know,
keeps me in
like-
check too. She's-
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, springing the, because I do, like, there's a lot of, like, I'll tell you, a couple years, about 2 years ago or so, when she started getting to do, I really wasn't helping anymore. Like, in the beginning, I was helping her, but then I was like, she's really doing
And
everything.
then I had my truck, and I was doing my
that's
own
right.
thing. You
That's
know,
what it
when I
was.
finally got my first truck that I still drive, 1995 T100 long bed Toyota. This is a staple. If you live in Deerfield, you've seen it. But yeah, I love that thing. She still runs, never broke down. Knock on wood. So so I got that.
You're right. When she was younger, I was very involved because I had to drive her around, and then when she got her, you're right. When your dad bought you your truck,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
and it was like I was like, she's really doing this. Like you're right. That was my moment of like, you know, I'd say to Big Mike, I'd say, because he'd be like, well, what's going on here? And I'm like, I'm not doing anything. She's doing it all. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not. And he was like, she's really yeah. It's interesting.
Inspiring.
It's nice.
Yeah, I've had a lot of my friends that they've like when they would do like we did the news thing one time, and I had a couple of my friends. They interviewed some of my friends, and they're like, "She's so inspiring," and I love to hear that because there is like the younger generation is not there. It's some people are lost. There is a lot of lost younger people, and I love to be like an inspiration for those people.
And 2020 isn't helping anything.
It is crazy.
It is.
This has been
crazy.
And a lot of people were like, "You're still going to do the tournament with COVID going on," and I was like,
"Now more than ever."
It was a struggle.
Right?
It was a struggle.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys want to go out and fish, and that's why I think I had a really good turnout.
I think so
because
too.
the COVID thing. I don't want to say that, but I kind of want to say that.
Yeah.
People were just dying to get outside and do something.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. We've experienced that here. I mean, the boating industry is, the sales
booming.
are up, and
Totally booming.
so it's at least here in South Florida, we've
Thank goodness.
we've been able to overcome the challenge, somewhat. And
we have the outing of the ocean. We have that we can go out.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
didn't stop us from that.
it's really the ocean heals everything.
It really does.
Including this. So
Yeah.
And
right?
including this.
Including this.
Exactly.
So that's
we're
great. So
thankful
the
for
future is bright for you, right?
Yes.
I would think so, right? I would think that the path that you're beginning the car for yourself and the path that you're on is going to be a beneficial one, but not just for you, but for everyone else that's around you.
Yes.
Right. And that just takes me that's just who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You got your dreams of entrepreneurship things, and do you want to discuss any of that? I mean, I know we talked about, your art thing. You're not really sure, and I'm gonna be honest with you. You're too young to know that yet. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You shouldn't have to know that yet, so don't feel the pressure to have to know that yet. You know what I mean? You're still trying to figure out a lot of things, I'm sure, and you should be. You know what I mean? Don't forget to have fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Over this Thanksgiving break, since I'm on online school, we go to Lombo Key every Thanksgiving. We got a timeshare up there. My grandparents do, my family does. And we bring our flats boat. Snook fishing's awesome. I love it over there.
Yeah.
And I was really thinking about it, and I was like, man, I really like running fishing tournaments. Like, I don't want a 9-to-5 office job. Like, maybe I should just travel the world and run fishing $1 million fishing tournaments, because there are $1 million fishing tournaments. Yep. And, and I'm like, I still have my own. I still have Trash Can. I'm going to do it as a 501c3 and, try and still keep that going up. But I was like, maybe I should just run fishing tournaments for the rest of my life. But I don't know, you're right. I'm too young. I don't know what I want to do yet.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if that's what you want to do it now. It's less advice I could tell you.
Yeah.
Right?
Whatever my path goes and all the opportunities, I have so many opportunities, and it's awesome. This is an awesome opportunity for me. I really like to thank you for having me on the podcast show. I love this. It's so sick.
I'm honored to
awesome.
have you on. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? Welcome to the
We're
Fishbowl.
honored to be
you
here
guys are
today.
welcome to the studio anytime. You know what I
That's
mean?
awesome.
And offline, we want to talk about a lot of other things that we discussed before the show too. We want to be a resource for you as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I want to promote everything that you do and who you are. And
I love it.
I want you to see you. I want to see you succeed at all your dreams and your goals. I want nothing more than that, for sure. And if we can do anything to help that, I'd be more than proud and honored to be a part of that, for sure.
Thank you.
It's very, when you meet someone like you, I want to tell this to people out there that don't take it for granted, okay? Because people like you aren't born every day. People are born every day, but not people like you, right? So you're a very special individual. Don't ever think you're not, okay?
Thank you.
And, keep of your own mind and keep going forward with your own mind, okay? Don't let anyone change that. The only advice I can give to you, because I don't need to give you any other advice. You already have everything else,
Thank you.
right? So thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Yes, I love this.
Sharing
So
everything
sick.
with us, sharing your time, and sharing everything that you've accomplished. Very happy. I want to thank Justin Ladenton for hooking this up.
Yep.
Me too.
Because if it wasn't for him opening his mouth, we may have missed the boat on helping promote that tournament. So I'm glad we got that in. John, is there anything else you want to add before we take off?
Well, you forgot to pick a winner for the shirts too.
I forgot to pick a winner. All right, who's the winner? I think I know who the winner is. But who do you have to pick a winner?
I have to to pick a winner?
Yeah,
of,
who
like,
had the best
was
question?
Who had the best question?
Oh,
Oh God, I don't know.
like best
It's a
question.
tough one, right? It's a tough one.
Yeah,
Who had the 2 best questions?
I know,
best
right?
questions.
I mean, come on.
I can't believe Art Sap actually asked me a question.
Yeah.
You know, no, we grew up hanging out at my friend's house, Gibson, and he's right across the canal from Art Sap. So I'd see him all the time, and we'd be on the docks, and I'd be in
Art's
my
the man.
flats boat, and so I didn't really know. Like, I didn't really know, but you know, that's cool. Yeah, I really love this loaded question that
me
Coastal
too.
Caitlin
Caitlin?
Rosado.
Yeah.
I don't know you, but hey, you know, don't let them boys influence you. And they are on the boat. You know, I've been with some fishermen, there's fights and they're yelling and just, you know, just try your best, do your best. Personally, I love gaffing fish. So I'm like, let me get the gaff. You know,
Yeah.
I want to gaff fish. And
And
you
you
just
should-
got to do it. You just got to take over and be like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right.
That's it, really.
know?
That's,
Yeah.
that's really half of fishing right there.
Yeah.
Right? It's
And you just
doing
got, it's just, you got to keep doing it. You got to keep getting out there. You
Yep.
can't just watch videos all day. You got to get out there and do
And
it.
that's kind of answering. Is it Caitlin from
Caitlin,
Coastal?
yeah.
That's kind of answering Caitlin's question too. Like, take charge and
Get
you
out
know,
there and do it. Be like,
it
hey,
doesn't
listen,
matter
I'm-
whether you're a female or a male or whatever. When I see Mikaela on the boat, she's funny. She loves to gaff, and you have to be pretty strong to pick up some of those fish.
Yep.
And she does. She's so confident. When we just recently caught a fish on what was it?
What, Lisa B?
On the Lisa B.
Lisa B, yeah.
Okay, with Bobby?
With Bobby,
Yeah,
yeah. We went out.
and Michaela's and Captain Mark Danley's like, all right,
Who's going to get the second
and
gaff? And I'm
Michaela's
like,
just like, I
I
am.
am.
And she
Yeah.
pulls out the
He's like,
gaff.
okay.
And then, and you know, you could see Bob's face like, oh, we're not letting this thing go. Like, you know, and I'm like, she can do it. She's got this. Trust me.
Yeah, she backed me up. She's like, no.
I'm like, she's going to get that fish on the boat. Trust me. Like,
We did. We got
So
it.
there
It was
you go.
How many pounds? It was like like 50.
it was more than that. It was huge. It was as tall as me.
It was big wahoo. We just got.
Oh, was it a big wahoo?
huge.
God.
Oh my God, I love wahoo too. Favorite
Yeah.
fish.
No, it's my favorite too.
Yes.
A lot caught over the weekend.
Oh yeah, the moon.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wish I got
It was
out
a good
there.
light. Me too.
Yeah, the Bandera. he
Yep,
went,
Bandera's awesome. Cody,
Yeah.
the first mate on that boat with Mark. Yeah, Mark's awesome too. We've always known Mark for so
Yeah.
long, even when he was on the Poseidon, and he is also an awesome individual. An awesome captain.
we left in this little shaker because we weren't catching anything all day, and I always have a bag of tricks, like I have the Mary Poppins purse. Always.
He does.
It's like I don't even know where I get these things from. It's probably like from having a Pierce punch with Justin, but I'll like look in my bag, and the next thing you know, I've got some kind
like
of
a
like
Morocco looking thing.
little shaker, and I'm like, oh, where did this come from? I'm like, okay, I'm like, hey guys, we should start shaking this. Maybe the fish will bite, and we're shaking it and shaking it, and next thing you know, we like
You got a bite?
We hooked up on a huge wahoo. I
I
mean, it was
love
like,
it.
awesome.
The
I
thing
love
was
it's
like,
better than sticking your head in a bucket, that's for sure.
we had to leave the shaker with them. It's on the Lisa B. So if you go out and you fish on that boat, shake the shaker.
Shake the shaker.
Because and fish are going to hear it. No, that's just funny. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's like, let's not forget, like, the real reason all this happens is because we all share the love and passion for our sport. you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to have fun. If you're not having
Gotta
fun,
have fun.
I think
That's why we're doing this.
Yeah, and I think that's
Right?
why they love the Trash Can Slam. What are the Blue Moon guys?
Bryson them?
What's it?
Yeah, Bryce.
Yeah, their kids, his kids do it. Is it-
Pierce, they always do it.
and the
Pierce
father
Chris
was
Islin.
talking, I guess, to what's his name?
Yeah. Castronova.
Castronova.
Oh, Paul,
He used to
yeah,
live
yeah.
down the
The
street
hectic
from
days
us.
and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were talking about
Like
Michaela's
tournaments
first
going
tournament,
on or something.
and it was so comical because
Bryce is like, oh yeah, that tournament's a hoot.
Is that
you
the
know,
father?
kids
His
love
name was
fishing it.
Bryce?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
his
kids
father
love
was-
fishing it, and it was so funny that he mentioned it on there.
and he was talking to him on it, and he was saying other things that were like I was going like, oh my God, my hand in my head. He's like, yeah, that's when my son. That's the first time they were drunk on the boat. There's beers popping. He's like, listen, if you want to have a good time, go to that fishing tournament. Like, I mean, but it was the truth. I mean, it's just so comical. But anyway, yeah, having fun is the
Right.
key. You know,
Yep.
Yep.
it's not about like put your game face on and we have to, because there's a lot of that in these tournaments.
Well, I think it's
People get
important to talk
upset.
about that, because
Yeah.
even with some of the stuff that we talk about here on the show, it's like, okay, we always talk about giving back to the community and like
Right.
everyone pulling together. It's like cool to talk about that, right? But
Right.
really, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
there's a reason why it's like that aquatic community coming together, because we all want to, like, this is life, man. This is the essence of
Yeah.
life. Like, and part of life is picking up, the lowest rung and trying to raise it up.
And
but
raise it up.
But you want the lowest rung to have a good time too. You know what I mean? And it's important for our spirits, and it's important for our lifestyle. It's important just for living.
Totally.
Just enjoy life.
Yeah, exactly.
Just enjoy life, have
put a
fun.
positive spin on it. Everyone wants to kind of poop on 2020.
I know.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
try to figure out some of the good things that have happened during the course of this year.
Right.
Did you get closer to your family? You know what I mean? Did you pull together? I mean,
Yep, right. Exactly.
if you were in the boating industry, if you sold boats, you probably had a banner year. My father-in-law
Right.
is a scout dealer up in New Jersey.
Oh.
They had a great year.
Oh, excellent
Right.
year, I
In
bet.
fact, it was like one of those years. He's getting close to retirement. He had one of those kinds of years where it's like, wow, I really needed that at the end. That was great. That really helped me out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so let's pull some positives out of 2020. And the
Right.
fact that, maybe some people learn how to use their heads a little bit rather than just listen to the media
Yep.
and being
Right.
told what to do, and they just figured out, like, okay, no, this is what's really going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
By being out in
But
the
yeah,
open.
by being out in the open and talking to people and being part of the community.
Yep.
Yeah, we had to, we had to tell the, not the kids, but we would talk about this at home. Like, you're right, around the dinner table. I'm one of the few families that I have dinner. I cook every night.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's a lot, there's a lot going on at my house. Like we're very close. We have neighbors come over and different things, and the kids will come in. I'll feed you. It doesn't matter who you are, but we're saying, like, you can't keep watching all this negativity, because I was just at the store and I don't see any of this hate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. Like
Right.
we're everybody's good. But if you keep watching all that and listening to what they want you to listen, I mean, I know we have to listen to some things, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you're right. Get out, be a decent person. Nobody, nobody's out fighting and ready to. Although I don't know.
There's a couple things that we did right in our household. Is after the first. After the 2016 election, in our household, we swore off all news channels. We just didn't turn them on.
It's a good
And
idea.
it made a big difference.
Yeah.
In just even the way, like, I would communicate with my wife. Like, when that was not a factor in our house, like, we didn't have to argue, even though we agreed most of
Right.
the time. You know what I mean? We still were like, we don't talk
Yeah.
about this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We don't even talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Here now and then. And also another thing that we did, at least I did a lot of. I don't know how much my wife did to this, but if there was someone on social media, maybe like Facebook or something, that was like really
Social media is
outspoken,
the worst.
political,
It is,
I would just unfollow them
Yeah.
or stop seeing their
I have to
posts.
learn that.
And that made a big difference in,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, in really just my experience even
Yeah.
on social media.
Yes,
You know what
totally.
I mean? It's really like where in my feed now, it's just mainly like other artists and other fishermen,
Right.
and you know what I mean, and it's all
And there's no
you know,
time for
positive.
to go and watch
no,
any of that.
No, and I don't even see it anymore because I just simply don't see
Simply
their
don't
posts
see it.
anymore.
Yeah.
And if you do things like that, then you can't get penetrated with these
Exactly.
negative
Yeah,
negative
yeah.
thoughts. You know what I
They
mean?
can't get in. Yeah.
Yeah, because the energy alone was part of the reason why 2020 was such a bad year.
Oh yeah, and especially with like everything shutting down. Everyone is on social media and everyone is
That's
looking
true.
at that. And I mean, there are just so many what I want to say, negative, false things, and just I mean, I don't like sometimes I'm like I don't even want social media, but I have to have it to market myself.
Have
and
to have it for the business. That's why we have it. Yeah.
I like it, but I'm trying not to be on it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yes.
I know a couple people are, and they just can't. They gotta have it on the table at dinner. It's just
Speaking of you, Sarasota, when we were over there I don't think we turned the TV on once.
Good.
And I was like, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like this, we so happy we don't have the TV on. We listened to music. We of course, but it was just like, I don't know, it was like not one of those things where we had the TV on at all, which was great. So we didn't have the news on. We didn't have anything.
Yeah, that's
on.
good. I mean, it's really
It's
really
so-
made
there's something to be
just
said
made a
about
great
that.
difference in our lives. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
I agree.
with that being said, we hope 2021 turns out to be a
Hopefully.
better experience
Great.
for many
Yeah.
people,
Yes.
and that we
Yes.
can just start moving on and moving forward with. I think that or at least I hope, but I do think that in 2021, when we can put a lot of this past us, hopefully that we're going to come out gangbusters. I really think that everyone's just going to come out just happier and more
Yes.
vibrant and just, you
Yeah.
know, nicer. And hopefully people just learn to respect each other.
It's all about
a little bit
respect.
more,
It really
you know.
is all
That's
about
the key.
respect.
You know,
Treat others the way you
wanna
want to be treated.
right. There
It's
you go.
so true.
Golden rule.
It's kind of, it's
Yeah.
what we've taught our kids and my son and daughter, treat others the way you want to be treated. It's that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. If I want to, speak to people on social media as you would be speaking to them if you were in front of their face, please.
That's
Yep.
such a good one.
Have that
Yeah.
respect for
Exactly.
people too, because you're not as tough as you think you are.
Oh, yeah.
You know, most of them out there at least aren't. So
Yeah. No,
keyboard
exactly.
warriors. So all
Isn't
right,
that
cool.
true? Love the cookies. They're so
Yeah,
cute. So we
aren't
gotta,
these great?
yeah, that's
I'll
awesome.
give you guys some to take home.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be ordering more of these, I think. These are from Eve's Cookies.
Eve's Cookies. Is that
yeah.
on the West Coast?
It's on the West Coast, yeah.
Wow.
They make these custom cookies. I think it's Eve's Custom Cookies. So, well, hopefully, John will hopefully be able to put that up.
Yeah, I'll plug them in again.
They're on Instagram. You can find her. She
Okay,
makes all these
they're
by
really
herself.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're always looking for things to put in like our buckets and different things when
Mm-hmm.
she does the. As a matter of fact, this year for the Sailfish Slam is we have our good friends that always donate wonderful things,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to be donating buckets for the captains.
Yeah, and
They're
also
famous.
Pelagic. I'd like to shout out Pelagic
Mm-hmm.
from Deerfield Beach. Tony over there, he's awesome. He's given me so much good donation stuff, even though times are tough, and I can have
Yeah.
a lot of stuff in
Very
my
cool.
buckets. And
Very cool.
I mean, I have so many people that I would like to mention. There's just so many people from the community. Just thank you, everyone, for
And we'll be
supporting.
contributing too if you'll have us.
Oh,
for sure.
absolutely.
We'll
Yeah,
give you some nice
anything-
parting gifts here today. Maybe put together a basket for you for your
Thank you.
event, or give you something. For sure. But even moving forward, we'd love to be involved with you guys
Yeah,
on this.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So
yeah.
cool.
just
All right. Well, thank you guys so much
Yeah,
for today.
thank you
This
for
was
having us on
really
there.
fun.
I hope you guys had a good
I love
experience and a
this.
good time today.
We
you know
did,
what I mean?
yeah.
We enjoyed having you in the studio.
Definitely,
And you're
I
welcome
enjoyed it.
anytime.
Thank
Really.
you,
I mean,
thank
please
you.
consider this your second home. And even when we make our move to Pompano here
I can't
soon,
wait.
Well, we'll be around more because
Excited
we're over
about
there.
it. Yeah. It's like moving is never fun or easy. You know what I mean? So we got all that
I
in front of
know.
us and trying to do a staggered move too at the same time. But once we're up and running in there,
Yeah.
we'll
You'll
hopefully
make it
see.
home.
Yeah, we'll
You'll make it
hopefully
comfy.
see everybody over there,
Yeah.
and hopefully see you guys over there
Of
too.
course, yeah.
So,
We need a art gallery over there. That's
Yeah.
gonna be awesome.
Nice.
That is going to be nice.
A lot of fun. So I also want to remind people, if they're in the market for a truck or a vehicle, to go see our fine people over at Joey Cardi Chrysler Jeep Ram. Right, we own the Ram Rebel 1500, and I love that thing.
Nice.
It is clearly by far the nicest, coolest thing I've ever owned in my entire life. But the service and the selection and just the process over there is just wonderful people that
Top
work there.
notch,
Wonderful people that
right?
work there.
Yeah.
So they got lots of good December year-end deals coming up. So
Best time to buy a car is the
best time
end
to buy
of
a
the
car.
month.
Yep.
End of the year. Mhm.
Go check them out, and I actually have to go over there now because we just turned in our old vehicle, right?
Okay.
And now we're with just the truck right now. So my wife thinks she's getting my truck now, and she's not. I'm going to get her a new car.
What is she looking at? What is she wants
well,
her truck.
I think we're looking at the Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Oh, okay.
yeah, or maybe my son wants a Jeep.
That was one of my first
right?
cars. I had a red Jeep
Yeah.
Wrangler. Loved it.
Yeah, my son wants the Jeep, but I think, I don't know if she's got to truck the kids around and do all that stuff, then maybe
Yeah.
the Cherokee is probably a little bit more fitting for what
Probably.
they do. But knowing my wife, she's probably going to say that she wants a Jeep. So, but we'll do the right thing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over there this weekend
Where
and
they're
check out some
making
new
them now,
vehicles.
they're just like they're like luxury cars.
Right.
The Jeep.
Right.
When I had a Jeep, it was not a luxury car. It was like you want to take a road trip, and then you're like, oh my God, are we really in this thing? But now they're just amazing.
Yeah, they're
gorgeous.
amazing, super strong, super reliable, and they got the ones with the truck bed.
Oh, that's what
in
my-
the back,
that's what
and
my
that's
brother
the one
wants.
my son wants.
And that's the one that my brother wants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So-
and I said, well, when you move down to Bradenton, you can come over and see Joey Accardi over there, and you can
Yep.
check it out.
Yep.
Connected by water.
Connected by water, exactly. And I also want to remind people if they are hungry, and they should stop by Papa's Raw Bar, and they should make a selection perhaps from the Connected by Water inspired sushi menu.
Yeah, I want to try it when I go to
Lots
when
of
I do my
cool
captain's
things,
meeting.
including the Jumbolicious roll is on
Jumbo.
there, right? I think he's got one on there, and the OCD crew's got one on there, and
yeah.
my partner Harris has got a Takizi roll.
Is there tequila anything to do with?
No.
Oh.
Actually, so the name Takizi comes from the fact that his background is from like IT recruiting. That's where the business that they call it Tech Partners.
Gotcha.
But then he had his house in the Keys. So he mixed up the two, like take it easy in the Keys and say it fast. It's Takizi.
Takizi. Okay.
So that's he made up his own word.
I like
So,
it.
yeah,
Nice.
so that's the Takizi crew. So
We'll have to get on Troy about maybe a trash
Thinking
roll
about a trash roll, dump truck
trash
roll. Everything on her.
under the Connected by Water menu.
the trash can roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. Please check them out. It's
Yeah,
the holiday
so
season.
delicious.
Check out the Barrel Room, which I've been in there once, and it's phenomenal and it's
So
beautiful
cool.
and it's amazing, right? And
You're gonna come by.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If you're available,
invited. You
Absolutely.
are totally invited. Come to my captain's meeting.
Yeah.
come
No,
to my
we'll be
wedding
there.
Ceremony.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000% we'll be there. Yeah, absolutely. And also, just a reminder: fishing for FMD. Get your fishing ffmdraffle.org. Go buy your tickets. And is there anything you want to promote here before we kind of sign off?
I don't know. I just want to say thank you to all my supporters and sponsorship people, and also don't forget captain's meeting December 10th.
December 10th.
Be ready, 6 to 10 p.m. Papa's Raw Bar in the Barrel Room.
In the Barrel Room.
And one day fishing tournament on Saturday, December 12th. So
Awesome.
everyone better
Can
get ready.
guys pre-register now?
So yeah, you actually have to register your boat at the captain's meeting.
Okay.
So no pre-registration. I don't have my website yet. I'm gonna talk to Jumbo about that.
Okay.
But as well as what was I gonna say? Yeah, you have to register at the captain's meeting, or if you can't, just someone can message me and we can get together. And
Okay.
make arrangements. I'm
right.
pretty easygoing about that.
All right, so we're expecting to see a big line of people waiting to register.
I want to see a big line of people.
Yeah. I was going to just say to Dennis that here we are saying like, well, we hope we get 30 votes and watch us get some kind of astronaut.
That would be phenomenal.
I mean, it would be phenomenal.
I'm hoping for the best. I want a lot of votes.
But I like John's idea with like pre-registration. See, I'm the one that gets on her about little things like
I
that.
know. I need to
Where's
get.
your website?
I know.
Let them pre-register.
Come on,
yeah,
Justin.
we'll
Come
get it
on,
done.
Jumbo.
We'll get it done. This is
Yeah.
listen. This is only the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is only the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's
this is we're gonna see this thing
Yeah.
grow to be this super duper thing like every year, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Right. So it's only the beginning. Don't.
And it's nice because a lot of the other sailfish tournaments, aren't they later on? They're like usually later on in December, right?
Well, I mean, they usually start like the Dust 'Em Off usually kicks off one like in November, and then
Yeah,
and
I
then
think there's a
they
tournament
just start
this week.
leaking out in December.
Yeah.
And,
There is.
Yeah, Dust 'Em Off was
January
pushed to
they
this
really
weekend.
start like heating up.
January's
January,
up.
February, yeah.
Yeah, so that's nice.
I'm just
that
on
yours is
break,
now.
so I need to do it during my break from college.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
can't
that's
do
right.
it during school. It's crazy.
Because usually that's one of hers for the trash can slam. She waits till all of them go out and then she tries to pick a date.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm
For a
so I'm like, okay, let's see, who are we? We can't fall on any of these weekends because I don't want to step on anybody's toes. We're all about that.
Usually the funny thing is that with COVID, like a lot of these were delayed and pushed
Right.
back and everything
Yeah,
like that.
that's what
But
happened.
usually, like you got the Dust 'Em Off, and then now we got the Jimmy Johnson the Invitational, the Miami Billfish Invitational, cranking in there too. But then like, there's a little bit of a lull, for some of these tournaments until like December starts heating up and the Operation Sailfish kicks in with Jamie's tournament and everything like that.
Operation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Sailfish.
like January, and then you get the silver sailfish and all that happening. But as far as like locally around here,
Yeah, because the
I
other
think you
one,
picked
then
a
there's
pretty
one
good spot.
that's one's in
Yeah.
the Keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to look up and make sure.
I mean, sailfish are biting.
yeah,
That's
It's-
what
it's
I'm
it's cold
talking
out
about.
today. It's
Yeah.
nice.
I was supposed to go fishing last weekend, but I didn't because I'm married to the studio currently with the Skipjack crew, and then
Love that.
yeah. So
Bernard's awesome.
Bernard texts me, oh yeah, we went 11 for 12 today, loser.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
So
That's
I
another
got the
team.
laundry text.
That's
Their team,
another
they
great
fish my
team.
tournament all the time.
Yeah.
I grew up with Nicole and Jack.
So yeah, Nicole and Jack and Bernard, the Paul, his family, and the Friel family have known each other since the beginning of time. When my parents, I'm the youngest of six, right?
Okay.
When my parents moved down here before I was born with 5 children, I was born here. I'm the only one in my family that's a Florida native.
Wow.
Right, so I call myself the lucky one, right? And but when we moved down, my family moved down from New Jersey. His family moved down from Canada, and they moved to the same apartment complex in Sunrise.
Oh,
What's the
wow.
odds of that, right?
What's the odds of that?
Yeah, so, and then his father didn't speak any English, only spoke French. So my father was helping him get all his business licenses and going to all the legal stuff and everything like that, and helping him teach his like first words of English and like different things like that. So that's how far back you go with Paul's family.
That's so cool.
back.
Yeah, so basically that family's knew me before I was even born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where in New Jersey?
My family's from Jersey City.
Jersey City.
Yeah,
Okay.
my wife's from Bergen County up in
know
near
where it
Franklin
is.
Lakes and Wyckoff. She's from Wyckoff. I was born and raised down here, but a lot of people say they're Irish or they're Italian or whatever like that. I say I'm New Jerseyan because I'm from here. Those are my roots, right?
I saw a boat. We were on the boat yesterday or Sunday, whatever day that was. That was 2 days ago, and there was a boat. And had the state of New Jersey, and it said "Use guys, use guys."
Nice.
It was my family's from New Jersey too.
Yeah. Oh,
So
cool.
and
Where about?
we moved in Linden, Cranford.
Down south a little bit then?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, no, close to New York City, but then they had a
Okay.
house in Toms River
Oh,
in
yeah,
Bricktown.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had
near
my
Point Pleasant and all
grandparents-
that. Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
absolutely. Well, that's where
Yeah.
Liz's grandparents lived. My wife's. Yeah.
And then that's a funny story because my parents did the same thing. They moved down here right when I was born. My brother had real bad bronchial pneumonia, and they had to move south.
Mm-hmm.
And they moved, and I wasn't even a year old. I think my
Yeah.
first birthday was here. And it was Pompano. It was where they stayed with some friends, older friends, it was called Ronnie D's, right on the beach in Pompano.
Yeah. I know Ronnie D's.
Yeah, and it's so funny because now Sanket Street
That's
is like
what-
a big deal, but like we used to go there as kids. Like
the Gregelis family owned Ronnie D's.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that
I
funny?
played football in high school with Pete Gregelis. Yeah.
that is hysterical.
Yeah.
So we joke about that all the time. That's years ago. I mean, I'm going to be 53, so
Yeah.
that's a long time ago.
Yeah,
but that's
that's
funny
awesome.
because it's like like you said, like the like when you find those families that you grew up with, and
Yeah, that's really really
Isn't that
cool. So
how ironic
we're all
is
from
that?
New Jersey
But,
when
yeah.
it's all
It's
said and
way-
done. Right? So I just want to say things in light of that. You guys are awesome. Right? And I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. Right?
Thank you.
All right. So your
Awesome.
ego is not your amigo. Right? Always do your best, and at the end of the day, just let God do the rest. Right?
Nice.
And don't ever forget that no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, we're always connected by water.
Connected by water.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
Love
you.
it. Thank you.